Thank you to SnakeStone97 for their generous donation on Patreon. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
Dun da da dun da da dun da da dun da 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 da. Why is there no sound? Is there no sound playing? Why would there be no sound? This is weird. Why is it quiet? Yeah, there's just no fucking sound. That's fucking weird, and I don't like it. Hello, everyone! My name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and welcome back to Temptation's Ballad. On the last episode, we finished off Chapter 1, and I guess we're getting a glossary now as we're heading into Chapter 2. The teaser on the fucking Itch.io page is potentially disturbing, so I'm a little worried about where we're going here. But let's see these glossaries, huh? What the fuck? There's stats? Again, why is there no music or anything? This is fucking ominous as shit. As son of the legendary mercenary Marrow Bonebreaker, Cole is expected to follow in his father's footsteps, despite his diminutive size and lack of strength. A compulsive and cunning liar, Cole has a talent of worming himself into and out of trouble completely unscathed. The same cannot be said of his companions, whom he drags along with him. Items? Are you serious? No, I don't... let's, I guess, just look at the basic things, because I don't want to read all of his items. The humble adoptive son of a local innkeeper and cheesemaker, Sid dreams of one day becoming a famed adventurer. He has trouble concentrating on menial tasks, which lead him to be fired from multiple jobs and apprenticeships in the past. Which led him to be fired, I guess. But he is very hopeful that his current adventuring job with Cole will be what finally sticks. Sid admits that he's not exactly the smartest tool in the shed and is rather self-conscious about it, but believes that his incredible natural-born strength is his only redeeming trait. Items. I don't care. Moving on. I'm sure they're funny or interesting, but I can't sit here and pretend I give a crap about the... Wow! This is a bad stat distribution. Fuck, no. As creator's chosen one, Artemis is destined to protect the world from a terrible fate like the many chosen before her. Despite this important role, Artemis has lived a sheltered life inside the Grand Cathedral and scarcely knows anything about the outside world and thus feels utterly unprepared. Naive and optimistic, she is ever determined to improve herself and fulfill her duty, no matter what obstacles may stand in her way. Items, I don't care, Other? The fuck does other mean? Artemis notably carries very little on her person, lacking even a basic coin purse. All of her earnings and material payments from missions go straight to the church's vaults. As Her Excellency likes to remind her, the creators chosen should maintain their humility and free themselves from worldly indulgences. Okay, why the fuck would that... Why was that an option? Chapter 2, Vulnerability and Risk. 'Cause that doesn't give me a bad fucking feeling at all. Let's see where we start. Dun-da-da-da, the Marauders District. I imagine this is gonna be Cole. The Bonebreaker Mercenary Company, nighttime. Oh yeah, weren't we supposed to bring Cole and Sid? Sid's supposed to be coming in for his first shindig. Why? There's still no music. This is making me feel like something is amiss. The night was quiet and still at the Bonebreaker Mercenary Company. Quite unusual. After many long hours partying and drinking with his papa and the other mercenaries, Cole had retired to the attic in a happy daze of exhaustion and quickly fell into a deep slumber. I have a feeling it won't stay that way, otherwise we wouldn't be here watching this. His chest rose and fell softly in the dim room while he slept. It was little wonder that Cole failed to notice the dim red glow in his pocket as the stolen ruby pulsed with life. Wisps of infernal magic flickered gently across the room and washed over Cole's unconscious body, gently probing his unguarded mind. A low voice suddenly rumbled through the night. Its deep tone reverberated through Cole's chest like a dark, rich ocean wave. Call it a Bonebreaker. Are you worthy of my temptation? Yeah, he said the thing. That's the title. Cole mumbled obliviously in his sleep and rolled over. More wisps of infernal energy spilled out of Cole's pocket and surrounded him in a fog of red. The deep, rumbling voice leaned closer with an amused hum. Temptation is a decision. In the heat of the moment, taunted by others' expectations and your own desire, you must choose. What do you value more? It is within that moment's decision that one's truth is revealed. Infernal magic raked at the back of Cole's mind as the voice laughed. I wonder what I will find within you. Detect thoughts. Oh boy. This is weird. Cole was suddenly in free fall. He gasped as he flailed aimlessly as incoherent memories and voices flew past him in his descent. Cole squeezed his eyes shut and shook his head wildly. He was clearly dreaming. Nothing makes sense right now. But this felt much too lucid for a normal dream. Suddenly, everything stopped. A single memory clawed to the surface with his mind and flooded his senses. What will it be? He was still a young boy on the day he was injured. Still young at the age of 14, and still full of dreams of becoming the greatest warrior in the land, and a worthy son to the great Marrow Bonebreaker. Cole had been fed tales of his father's great deeds throughout his entire youth, and the thought of living up to even a fraction of Papa's legend filled him with utter excitement. One day he would be just as great as Papa and continue his grand tale of adventure. Perhaps Cole would become just as legendary. Such was youth, filled to the brim with optimism and misplaced hopes for the future. Then came the injury. Cole wished that the injury occurred due to a great battle, or maybe during an intense sparring match. That would have made for an interesting story, at the very least. But no. The injury happened during the most basic training exercises. His first training exercise. Calling it an exercise at all was being generous. That morning, young Cole had rushed into the Bonebreaker Guild's training room with giddy anticipation. It would be his first time wielding a weapon. He had chosen an axe, just like Papa. Then Cole promptly spent about 10 minutes struggling to even lift it off the ground. No matter how he heaved and threw his weight about, his skinny little arms couldn't lift the battle axe. After a while, he tried lifting a smaller axe, only to be met with the same result. Then a size smaller, and then even a smaller one. Finally, he managed to wield a tiny throwing axe with relative ease, though it still felt rather heavy in his grip. Fortunately, Papa was away on mercenary business that morning and wasn't there to see Cole's embarrassing bumbling. Cole spent one short hour in the sparring room that day. Hamish directed him on basic weapons drills, proper grip, and battle stances. Cole followed his instructions enthusiastically, paying little mind to the growing strain and soreness that was blooming in his forearms and calves. Pain was just weakness leaving the body, after all. He would never become a great warrior like Papa without a little soreness. But the pain kept growing. By the end of the hour, young Cole could barely stand. Hamish found him curled up on the floor in a mess of quivering limbs and distressed sobs. The rest of the day was a painful blur to young Cole. He remembered Hamish's soothing words and comforting grip as the older hyena carried him across town. They had rushed to the nearest healer in the city. Hamish got into a squabble with several other patients as he fought his way to the front of the line. A long and agonizing examination and treatment followed. Cole remembered the healers probing his pained limbs with magic while pouring bitter herb mixtures down his throat. The healer and Hamish spoke in hushed tones while Cole laid unmoving on a bed and waited for the pain to subside. "Well, did you find out what went wrong?" The healer spoke hesitantly. "Our examination showed your son's body to be unexpectedly feeble. There were slight tears along his arm and leg muscles from what seemed like simple, lightly strenuous activity. He will recover from this easily, but we advise you to avoid repeating these exercises on a frequent basis. Activities on a frequent basis. Cole shot up from his bed and immediately slumped back down as pain racked viciously through his limbs.
Wait! What about my mercenary training? How will I...
Cole's voice died in his throat at the pitying expression on the healer. I am very sorry, young man.
You mean I can never become a warrior like Papa?
Your father tells me that you struggled through a severe illness as an infant, did you not? While you have recovered, it appears the disease had a lasting impact on your body. I see this happen very often in children who fall ill during their early developmental stages. You are very small for a boy your age. Your muscles are particularly weak and fragile, likely from stunted growth. While your body may grow slightly more resilient with age, it is unlikely you will ever grow to a state where you can become an effective warrior. As your healer, I strongly recommend you pursue a different career. Young Cole's voice cracked as the hopelessness of the situation dawned upon him.
But you said I'll probably grow better with age. Isn't there a chance...
Young man, please think about this. As a mercenary, you will undoubtedly face perilous combat situations with many able-bodied warriors. While your body may grow slightly more resilient to the strain, others will still hold the advantage over you. The likelihood of you dying needlessly in battle is almost a guarantee. I recommend you leave such tasks to men more befitting of the task. Cole fell silent, his head slumping back limply. His chest lurched painfully as he tried to wrap his mind around his situation. All his dreams and hopes vanished in an instant. A gentle, comforting hand rested on his shoulder. Hamish leaned close with a sympathetic smile.
It's okay, kiddo. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to be a warrior to be a great man in life. Your papa and I will...
Hot anger flashed through Cole's chest. He whipped his head around and glared at Hamish furiously.
That's it? You'd give up on my chances of becoming a warrior just like that? I thought you believed in me!
No, Cole, that's not what I meant. Cole hardly remembered what Hamish said. Only a deep well of frustration and fury filled his young mind as he lashed out at Hamish. Cruel words and blame spilled from his throat while angry tears ran down his cheeks. It was unfair. All of it. Unfair. Cole also knew it was unfair of him to pour all of his resentment onto Hamish, but it felt better to continue yelling than pause and dwell upon the pit of despair that filled his chest. Cole let out a gasp and his eyes snapped open. The world around him was still dark in the depths of this lucid dream. What in the world was happening to him? A deep, sinister voice chuckled, the sound reverberating in every direction. Arante. And filled with such shame and doubt, you will make a perfect host for me. Cole snarled and clawed at the nothingness around him. Get the fuck out of my head! I am a friend. I can help you in your plight. You wish to become a great warrior like your father before you. You seek power. I can provide. All that you desire could be within your grasp. All you need to do is accept my pact. Who are you? The voice chuckled again. You may call me... Oh, shit! A loud bang from downstairs shook the entire Bonebreaker Guild building / tavern. Cole let out a scream and nearly fell off his hammock bed. His heart thumped against his chest at a mile a minute as his eyes darted through his surroundings in a panic. It was just a dream. Just a dream. A rather unpleasant dream, but a dream nonetheless. Cole took a deep breath to recollect himself. Maybe he shouldn't have drunk so many ales with Pampa last night. Another sharp bang echoed through the entire building and shook Kale in his hammock. Papa must be sparring with the other mercenary men in the training room again. Did they have to do this so early in the morning? Cole let out a yawn and scratched his dazed head. Time to drag himself through another day, he supposed. Huh? Cole blinked and let out a yelp at the sensation of something slithering on his lap. Whoa, it's a snake! The small ball python that laid curled up on his lap looked at him expectantly and let out a tiny hiss. Ah, I see you're finally awake, young mortal. Cole stared, and then stared a little more. This tiny snake was talking to him. Dots. The fuck are you? The ball python reared its head back, utterly offended. Puny mortal! You should be honored to be graced by the great temptation demon Malus. I see. Like Malus, I see. What the frick? Oh, it's just fucking Snapchat popping up when I don't want it to. Bow before me and show proper respect. I may still consider granting you my... Oh, shit! Ah! Look at this fucking face! Just like, man, get fucked, asshole. Cole yelled down the hall, Papa! The vermin got into the house again! From downstairs, Merrill let out a laugh and shouted through the thin walls of the building, Another one! Just squish it and throw it out the window! Wait, the poor thing isn't hurting anyone. Just scoop it up with a cup and let it outside. Cole glanced down at the wiggling snake in his grip with a shrug. Well, you heard Papa. Wait! Mercy! I beg mercy! You wouldn't dare harm one as powerful and fearsome as I, would you? Look at this. Look at his fucking face. Cole hesitated before dropping the writhing python back onto his bed. You sure talk big for an itty-bitty little snake. Insolent mortal! I am simply weakened after being summoned into the material plane. Had I retained my true form, you would be shaking in your boots from my might. Cole squinted at the little screaming snake as he tried to wrap his head around the situation. You're a demon, maybe just delusional. How did you even get into my room? Oh, that is simple. I arrived through the ruby you stole yesterday, you see. Cole immediate patted his pockets. Wait, where is the ruby anyway? Did you fucking eat it? You fool, I am the ruby. Look at his, he's kind of cute. Look at the, I am the ruby. As though to demonstrate, the black python curled up into a tight ball. Oh, in a puff of red smoke, he transformed into a small blood-red ruby. In another puff, Malus returned to his snake form with a flourishing grin, as though awaiting applause for his little trick. Cole groaned and massaged his temple with a grimace. I just wanted to bring home a pretty gem as a gift for Papa. Now I gotta deal with a pest problem. Any chance I can separate you from the ruby? Like with a knife? Malus immediate recoils in horror. Wait! I am unconditionally connected to the ruby! You wouldn't want to break such a valuable gem, would you, dear mortal? I don't know. You sound like more trouble than I'm willing to put up with. Wow, these mortals are a lot less fearful and groveling than my brother made them out to be. Wait a second. If you're a tiny demon snake living in my ruby, does that mean the other 3 rubies have little snakes in them too? How dare you! I am no little snake! I am the great and powerful temptation demon Malus! You don't look like a Malus. I think I'm just gonna call you Noodle or something. The python let out a melodramatic wail. How dare you degrade me with such a cute nickname! This wasn't how my first interaction with a mortal was supposed to go! Why is there still no music? I'm gonna check the fucking settings? There should be... Yeah, the volume's all the way up. Is there... In my volume mixer. What the... Oh, no. The volume mixer isn't even saying that Temptations Ballad is open. Hold up, I'm gonna save and close this real quick, and hopefully this shit'll fix itself. Yes, hold on. Here we go. This is some fucking noise. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck happened, but for some reason the game opened with no sound. I didn't fuck with the settings on it. I tried to get it to pop up. I don't know why it didn't show any fucking sound, but here we go. Now let us resume. You were supposed to grovel at my feet and worship the very air I breathe! Cole stared at the snake incredulously. Feet? I had feet before I left the infernal plane, okay? As much as it pains me to admit, I am only so tiny and weakened because I am the youngest of my siblings. This is my first trip to the material plane. I suppose my inexperience has left me in this sorry state. Thank goodness we got separated. If my siblings saw me like this, I'd never hear the end of it. Cole scratched his chin thoughtfully. Why would Prince Cassius order a crown with 4 demons in it? Things are starting to sound a little fishy. Starting? Just now starting? You and your demon pals better not be planning to cause trouble. Malus's head dropped onto the hammock with embarrassment. Well, I'm afraid I was a little too excited to travel to the material plane for the first time and didn't really pay attention when my siblings were explaining the mission. Oh, great. Do not mock me! I remember a few things at the very least. We were to infiltrate this snooty city and absorb negative emotions from you puny mortals. Your emotions will feed us and become a wonderful source of infernal energy. Speaking of which, you! Tiny mortal, you will form a pact with me! As a temptation demon, a conflicted mess of a person like you will make the perfect host for me. With you at my beck and call, I shall return to my true form in no time. No thanks. I don't make deals with shady talking noodles. But I can grant you power, fame, glory! You wish to gain the approval of your father, do you not? With my help... Yeah! I don't think Papa would be very impressed if I grew strong from demon magic. Anyway, time to squish ya. Please tell me you turn back into a ruby after you die. I was hoping to pawn a decent price off that gem. Cole reached for a nearby butter knife. Wait! Malus immediately shrieked and his eyes flashed a blinding red. Uh-oh. There we go. Acrid wisps of infernal magic shot across the room. Cole winced as a flicker of heat reverberated through his chest. It felt as though he'd been smacked with a hot water bottle. The hell was that? We are now connected, puny mortal. Any harm or sensation one of us feels, the other shall feel as well. And that includes pain. You shan't get rid of me so easily. Cole scowled and gave the snake an experimental pinch. Sure enough, he felt a light pinch squeeze his own shoulder. He let out a frustrated groan and fell back onto his hammock. Talk about a raw deal. I just wanted a gem, not snake babysitting job. You are stuck with me forever now, rest assured. Sooner or later, I shall tempt you into a contract with me. Just you wait. A sharp chime suddenly echoed outside, ringing through the entire city. As usual, the Axia clock tower struck on the hour as the city's public timekeeping system. Cole counted the number of chimes and nearly leapt out of his bed in sudden realization. It's 9 o'clock already? I was supposed to meet up with Sid at the town square. Damn it, why'd you have to prattle on for so long? Ah, you have places to be? Excellent. I've always wanted to explore the material plane and all of its exciting riches. You will make an excellent host and tour guide, puny mortal. Cole yelped as the python casually slithered into his belt pocket. Wow, it's surprisingly roomy in here. Don't just slide into other people's pants without asking. You can't tell me what to do, puny mortal! Now to this town square, post-haste! Cole groaned for what felt like the umpteenth time that morning as he dragged himself out of bed. A bossy little shit. Oh god, this is gonna be a weird development.